Number 2, improve digestive health. My favorite, poop talk.
Yep.
Love a good poop talk.
Yes.
So it improves digestive health. Your body needs water to digest food properly. Without enough, you may experience irregular bowel movements, gas, bloating, heartburn, and other discomforts. Upping your fluid intake aids in breaking down soluble fiber from your diet to keep your digestion process on track. More water equals more poop.
Yeah.
And I don't know who you are out there. If you don't like more poop, there's something wrong.
I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but
it's not normal to not poop at least
twice a day.
Twice a day.
You're supposed to.
Tyler, I got a question for you.
Shoot.
How many liters of urine does the average person make per day?
Make per day.
How many liters would you say the average person makes per day?
Average person, I'm going to shoot low. I'm going to say like two or less.
2 liters or less per day?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to answer you in just a second, but first...
Like, of all cliffhangers, that's the one I want the answer to.
But first, a little recap. So we're in a series right now, and if you're new to us, we started these Wednesday roundtable episodes, and we wanted to gear these towards physical improvement. How can you make your body ready for anything? How can you improve your performance if you're, because all of us are athletes, right? But really just day to day, how can you improve energy? How can you improve focus? How can you just improve your overall life physically? So that's what we started doing with these Wednesday roundtable episodes. And in particular, we've been in a series titled The Secret and Free Way to Naturally Boost Your Energy. And the premise here is, again, we say it every single week, I love caffeine. I love coffee. I love energy drinks. I love all those things. However, I do realize that if I'm constantly reaching for those things, there's a bigger underlying problem that I need to address. Yep. And so that's what this series has been about. It's addressing the underlying issues, making some lifestyle changes beyond just getting better sleep, making some true lifestyle changes that improve our energy.
Yeah.
And that way we're not constantly just grabbing for the caffeinated beverage, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. But hopefully these things will set you up for more energy, more focus, things like that. Because the other thing about the things that we've been talking about, which week 1 we talked about vitamin D and sunlight. Week 2, last week we talked about getting out in nature. The great thing about those 2 things is there's benefits beyond just energy. Yeah. I mean, there's just so many good things that happen for your body. And today, number 3, today's the third part, and next week we'll wrap it up with the 4th. Today I want to talk about hydration and the importance of hydration. Now, on the surface, you might think, well, duh, everybody knows drink water. But you'd be surprised.
You'd be very surprised.
You would be surprised. So when I was a trainer, again, I've referenced this, especially in this series, I've referenced this a lot. Because I lived it, I breathed it, I was in it every day, and trainers are typically, this is important to them, this type of stuff. I just took it for granted. I thought, yeah, everybody drinks a gallon of water a day or whatever. And then I got into the corporate world and the office world. And my mind was blown.
Not a water bottle to be seen.
Not a water bottle, not a cup in sight. In fact, all you're going to see is Diet Cokes and
coffees and
some people will drink, what is it, LaCroix?
Yeah.
Or Topo Chico, right? That's their water consumption.
Yeah.
Right? And so if you ever see me at the office, and if you're watching on YouTube, I carry around this massive, obnoxious blue cup everywhere. And it's constantly being refilled because I'm constantly drinking water. You now that you're doing 75 hard, typically you don't have it today, but you're carrying around a gallon jug.
Yeah.
I'm to keep you in check.
Like I'm that guy that carries around the gallon jug.
So you're sacrificing a little bit of social status for the betterment of your health.
Yeah, sacrificing credibility just as a human.
And yet again, we've brought in this reference, 75 hard, multiple times. And it's just so, now that I'm done with it and you're going through the middle of it, I see how each element plays into this and the importance of each element. So we talked about being out in nature. Part of the 75 hard is you have to be outside every day, at least one workout. Also part of 75 hard is drinking a gallon of water a day. And the importance of that we're going to talk about today. He didn't just throw that in there just for random.
Just because, right, just make it hard.
Yeah. No, he threw that in there because of the reasons we're going to talk about today. So today's episode is all about hydration. So again, if you're listening to this and you drink tons of water, keep going.
Yep.
But the reason I wanted to talk about this is because not a lot of people are doing it.
That's right.
And although it seems like common sense, it's not. And so what are some of the, what does water do for the body specifically? It's a transporter of nutrients. It regulates body temperature and metabolism. It lubricates your joints and internal organs. It provides structure to cells and tissues. And it can even preserve cardiovascular function. So that's some of the things that water does. So what I wanted to talk about today is what are the 5 reasons to stay hydrated. So reason number 1, improved brain performance. Have you heard this before? Maybe each of the last 3 episodes, that's been one of the benefits.
Yeah, weird.
Of doing these things.
Well, and what's the number one marketing thing of energy drinks now, right? It used to just be energy.
Sure.
But now it's like, all right, well, maybe there's a stigma around energy drinks. So we're going to say
focus,
improve
cognition,
brain performance,
Yep.
cognitive,
right,
whatever, right? It's like now it's all about brain function.
That's right. And maybe there are, and there, our producer David's got the Jocko Go right now.
Yeah.
And there are some things in there that have been shown to improve that.
Yeah.
However, if you don't want to spend $3 on a bottle of energy drink, these are some things water's free the last time I checked. Unless you
go to a gas station. It's not even close to free. It's just as expensive as energy drinks. But there are, which is crazy. And I want to address this right now.
Go for it.
Y'all, tap water is okay. It doesn't have to be.
We grew up drinking out of a water hose.
That's exactly right. And I caught myself, and I became not victim of this. I became that person too, where it's like, all right, I prefer a water bottle. Mm-hmm. And until 75 hard, it's like, I can't do this because if I don't have a gallon jug, and then it's like, all right, well, I'm not going to carry around 4 of these, and I'm not going to go buy 4 of these. So I started filling it up. I'm like, wow, this water actually works too. Like it actually quenches my thirst. And it was funny. My son, I've been traveling all week and I got home yesterday and my son comes in first thing in the morning and he's like, hey Dad, can I have some water? And I was like, yeah, sure. I think there's some in the fridge. He goes, no, just fill it up in the sink. And I was like taken back. I was like, that's what
you absolute peasant.
That's how like abnormal it is, right? Then he's like, no, just in the bathroom, fill it up in the sink. Yeah. And so I did. And dude slammed like half a bottle of water and he's 5, right? And I was like, see?
Love it.
It's not going to kill us.
Right. Yeah. I don't do bottled water. I do that out of the refrigerator.
Yeah.
The little filter or whatever. But I'm not opposed to some tap water, some good old fashioned tap
water.
Again,
hose water still is the best tasting water on the planet.
And not to go down conspiracy land too far, but bottled water. Yeah. Have you ever noticed that bottled water, some brands actually make you thirstier?
Yes.
Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
So there's chemicals and things in there that actually think about it.
Yeah.
You got to drink more water. You got to buy more water. So anyway, don't drink bottled water. Just kidding.
Unless there's a bottled water brand that wants to partner with us on this.
That's true. If you're, what is that? Body
Armor.
Do they make water? I thought they made
alkaline water.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently.
That's also shampoo, but that's fine.
Des Bryant told him to.
So anyway, back to number 1, improved brain performance. Obviously, we haven't drank much water this morning yet. But 75% of the brain is made up of water, and even mild dehydration, as little as 2% of fluid loss, can affect memory, mood, concentration, and reaction time. Adding just a few glasses of water to your daily intake can have a positive effect on cognition, stabilize your emotions, and even combat feelings of anxiety. My wife's a good example of this. So every now and then, she'll complain about having a slight headache, or she just kind of feels lethargic or not into it. And the first question I ask, well, how much water have you drank today? And she thinks back, well, not really much at all. Yeah. As soon as she starts drinking water, guess what? The headache's gone. Yeah. She starts feeling better again. Yeah. So crazy. It really is crazy.
Tiffany's the same way. Is she's like 0 or 100. Like there's no real in between. Either she's great or she has a full on migraine where she's got to like go into like a dark room, and every single time it's, oh my God, hey, drink water. Because we recognized this early on in our marriage when she had a couple. I was like, hey, have you been drinking water? And she's like, oh no, I haven't. Not in the last like 2 days. And she'll drink, same deal. And literally like that, if she stays consistent with that, then the migraines stay away, which is crazy. And look, I'm not saying that's the only thing. Because obviously there's underlying
issues. It's a good start, though.
But like, it's crazy that like we associate immediately. That's the first thing we think of is, oh, hey, how much water have you had?
Right. Yeah.
So
if you're a dumb rock like us, or you have
real smart,
or you suffer from headaches a lot, maybe start with water.
Yeah.
See what that does for you. Yeah. So that's number one. Number two, improve digestive health. My favorite, poop talk. Yep. Love a good poop talk.
Yes.
So it improves digestive health. Your body needs water to digest food properly. Without enough, you may experience irregular bowel movements, gas, bloating, heartburn, and other discomforts. Upping your fluid intake aids in breaking down soluble fiber from your diet to keep your digestion process on track. More water equals more poop.
Yeah.
And I don't know who you are out there. If you don't like more poop, there's something wrong.
I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but
it's not normal to not poop at least
twice a day.
Twice a day.
You're supposed to. Like you're supposed to. And like gut health has been, on the forefront.
That's a topic we need to address.
And we'll address that. But it's crazy. It's crazy what water is, right? I would say it is the simplest nutritional item that you can find, right? It's really kind of the most boring, right? It doesn't have flavor. It's like water.
Right.
Okay. But it is probably the number one most impactful in all areas, right? It's one of those deals where it impacts every aspect of it. I'm not saying if you don't go to the bathroom or your digestion, your GI is off, that like that's the only issue you have. But guess what? It can elevate it up to a better place. Yeah. And I'm not saying that it's going to fix everything. I'm not saying, hey, water is the cure-all to everything. That's not what I'm saying. But it's crazy that the simplest item that is the most readily available, and we live in a place where it is readily available. That's what we like don't have the perspective of, is imagine living in a place where you don't have clean water.
Right.
Like somewhere in South America, somewhere in Africa, where you don't have access to it. And it's like, we just take it for granted. We can get endless amounts of water. And, California is going through a drought, and it's like, it's hard because you're limited on watering your front lawns, and, you have to take shorter showers, and you get penalized if you use water between these hours. And it's like, okay, guys, we have so much access to it, but we just neglect it. And we personally, like from a health perspective, are suffering.
Yeah. Can we just be honest that if you're still living in California at this point, it's
on you.
It's on you.
It's on you. Look,
you're a glutton for punishment, or you're just too rich to.
Hey, no, look. If you appreciate it, say, hey, look, I'm getting hardened. I'm getting trained right now. So,
it's 75 life.
75 life. I'm just working on discipline, just dealing with BS all the time, and I'm going to be better for it. Hey, I appreciate that.
You know what though? I did hear we're not drinking enough water because we're going on too many side tangents. But I did just hear an interview with a guy who's wanting to become the next California governor. They have some hope if he becomes the governor. He is a stud.
Yeah.
I forget I don't even remember his name because it doesn't really matter to me, but
he's probably from Fresno.
Maybe so. No, he lives in Berkeley, actually, of all places.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But anyway, I think he's going to change things if he gets elected there. Yeah. But back to water.
We can joke because I'm from there. And look, there's still some amazing.
We can joke because we can joke.
There's amazing people out there. Yeah. Amazing people.
But if you still live out there, you're wild ass crazy. So more poop is benefit number 2.
Yes.
Benefit number 3, more energy, which is why we started this whole series. Dehydration can slow down circulation and affect the flow of oxygen to your brain. A lack of fluids can also cause your heart to work harder to pump oxygen all throughout your body. All that expended energy can make you feel tired, sluggish, and less focused. This ties in back to what we were talking about, the brain fog.
Yeah.
You feel lethargic, you feel tired, you feel sluggish. That's because of your lack of water, or it could be because of your lack of water.
Yeah, and think about this, right? Is you talk about your heart having to work harder to transport oxygen, right? Is what you said. Water is a transport system for nutrients, oxygen, vitamins, amino acids, all these things in your body that are important to go different places in your. So imagine your heart having to push pudding through your veins because you're dehydrated. Essentially, that's what you're doing, is you're reducing the fluid that makes your blood easy to transport. Right. So just very visual, easy visual is it makes it just easier to transport.
Yeah. That's good.
But just think about performance, right? You need oxygen in your muscles to perform. Mm-hmm. That's why athletes are rehydrating all the time,
right?
because they need that. Otherwise, if you're dehydrated, you've got all these issues with cramping and all that. But from an energy perspective, it's transporting all of the nutrients and energy and oxygen that you need to actually perform.
That's right. That's right. Speaking of energy and performance, number 4 is good for those of us that, as we get older, decrease joint pain. Ooh. Did you know the cartilage in our joints contains approximately 80% water? Staying hydrated helps your joints stay well lubricated, which helps reduce friction by creating more of a cushion between the bones. Less friction means smoother moving joints and fewer aches and pains.
So knees over toes.
Yep.
Right. Talks about it a lot is, lack of movement, lack of training in your knees. The cartilage actually becomes dehydrated, right? It's a soft, pliable material that acts as
synovial
cushion.
Fluid is the
See,
term.
there you go.
There you go.
You're way more learned.
I'm a walking anatomy book.
You're
basically
way more learned than I am. But so what it does, right, is it's a soft, cushiony tissue between bones, right? And so if you're not hydrated and you're not getting the movement into them, those just essentially become dry and brittle, and that's where you get
stiff,
arthritis.
brittle, yep.
That's where you get all those issues. So again, water,
Yep.
not iced tea, and I'm not knocking it. It's okay to have. I'm not saying
Sure.
it's bad, but like the purest form is water. And if you're doing that, it is aiding and lubricating those joints.
That's right. Yeah. Water and movement.
Yep.
Releases that synovial fluid, helps your joints move a little bit easier. And then number
David,
5.
I think he's showing off. He just said synovial fluid again.
It's kind of like
just to rub it into us. Like, you guys, I'm way smarter.
It's like the
you guys.
people that name drop when they know somebody famous. I'm just anatomy dropping right now. Science drop. And number 5, we'll wrap it up with this one: better temperature regulation, which we hear about this one all the time. You overheat, things like that. When you're dehydrated, your body stores more heat. This in turn lowers your ability to tolerate hot temperatures. Drinking plenty of water helps you produce sweat when you're overheated during activity, which in turn cools the body down. Again, that one's a little more obvious. We've heard that a bunch. Yeah. You're outside in the heat all day long. Obviously, if you don't have enough water, you're going to overheat. You're going to have issues that 1 through 4 that we talked about.
Yeah,
earlier.
but it goes back to energy. Your body naturally is going to conserve energy.
That's right.
It's going to hold on to energy if you're not able to regulate your body temperature.
That's right.
Because now it's going to protective mode. So you're not going to feel as good.
That's right. So the golden question is how much, right? Everybody has this, well, how do I know how much water to drink? Well, more than you're drinking right now is probably a good start. Yeah.
More.
So if you're pounding 3 Diet Cokes per day and that's it, maybe start with 2 glasses of water. Let's start there.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for a hard set answer, the answer is it depends.
Yeah.
Right? It depends on what your activity level throughout the day. Depends on how big a boy are you.
Yeah.
Right? Body size makes a difference in how much water you need. What does your food intake look like? Now, if you're eating bullshit McDonald's, you're probably not getting a lot of water in it. But if you're eating fruits and vegetables and good meats, there's water in those things. So the person eating more of that probably needs to consume less liquid water. The temperature season, we live in Texas. It's about to start getting really, really warm. We need more water here than somebody that lives in Boston or New York, right? And then your current health. Obviously, your current health, metabolic, all those good stuff depends on your water. So that's the real answer, is it depends on all of those things. If you're looking for a hard set answer, I don't have it for you.
Don't they typically say an ounce per
they do.
pound?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, that's a good number to shoot for.
I've seen really 8-ounce glasses is a good place to start. A gallon of water is a good place.
Yeah.
But again, the point is, if you're not drinking any, start with something and then slowly increase it over time. What I used to tell people is look at your urine color.
Yes.
Slight yellow is really your goal.
Yes.
Anything darker than that means you're not getting enough water.
Yeah.
And then if it's purely clear for 8 different P's in a row, maybe you can back off a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's what I used to tell people is look at your urine color. That's a good little indicator.
Yeah. And what another little trick is, and I can't remember who I heard this from, so I'm not claiming that I made this up, but every time you put a cup or glass to your mouth, it's 10 gulps. So you're consuming a lot. So, okay, I'm doing this instead of just a little sip, just every time I put it, I'm taking 10 gulps.
Did you say 10 gulps of water or 10 gulps of tequila?
I said, whatever bottle you put to your mouth, whether it's a water bottle,
10 gulps, whatever bottle you got.
whether it's Casamigos, it doesn't matter. 10 gulps.
It doesn't matter.
There's water and tequila, isn't there?
Yeah, that's right. I know. I like that. 10 gulps. Ready to go.
10 gulps. All right,
Ready to go. Here we go.
Ready?
If you watch on YouTube, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're done. Well done. You're on your way to hydration, my friend.
Here's the deal. So what that was almost half a bottle, and this is a 1 liter bottle, so 33 ounces.
My friend.
So everybody varies. I was very strong recreationally in college, so I learned how to drink things really, really quickly. So, but again, that's probably about 10 ounces ish, right? Yeah. If you say a gulp is an ounce. And so it's one way that, okay, hey, I can, instead of drinking 40 ounces in a day, now I potentially could drink 100 ounces just by just that one little trick. The other thing too is there are things out there. It's not terrible, but it does get you more, is if you're just like, I'm so bored with water, I can't do it. Get some flavor to it, like Mio or Crystal Light. Anything like that. Look, yes, it adds vitamins, but you're still getting the hydration from it. You're still getting the benefits from it. You want to try to stay away from sugars and stuff like that if you can, but there's some 0 calorie, 0 sugar flavors out there that you can do. I mean, my kids love that stuff, and I trick them into drinking water.
Yeah, you know, I tell adults that if they're complaining about drinking water, grow up.
Grow up.
Be a freaking adult. It's not that bad to drink
water. So here's the thing is, and I want a couple points on water. What's really hard for people is water doesn't give you that immediate result gratification that some of these other solutions do, right? Caffeine, I don't have that jump. I don't have that immediate, I got to go to the bathroom. I don't have that immediate, I'm sleeping better tonight. But this is one thing that consistently in 75 Hard has shown me is when you are consuming enough water, I'm not saying the right amount of water, enough water, my sleep is a million times better. I feel better during the day. I have more energy. I have all those things. Again, more regular with my digestive system, all of those things, but it's not an over. And so it's hard, right? So it's hard for people to justify I drank water today and I'm not fixed. It's like, no, this has to become a part of your life. This isn't just hey, I'm going to get myself back on track. And for a week, I'm going to drink water. No, this needs to be every day for the rest of your life type of deal.
No, that's an awesome point, because we do seek instant gratification in a lot of things. And this isn't one of those that's going to give you an instant return. Yeah. But you're right. It's more of, you look back on it and you're like, man, the last 3 weeks I felt really, really good. I haven't noticed it maybe in the moment specifically. Yeah. But I just feel really good. That's right. And a lot of it has to do with that water, and that's what you get on 75 Hard. So if you're somebody that struggles with drinking water, hopefully these reasons are enough to start to convince you. In fact, we did this, I did this exact breakdown at a company meeting last year, and the guy we work with, I'm not going to say his name, but a guy who worked this still to this day, he's like, dude, I've been drinking so much more. I feel so much better based on that. Yeah. So hopefully this is you. If you're not drinking enough water, hopefully this is you to get some more water in your life for these reasons. Yep. The world's longest cliffhanger, I just realized we never answered the question.
Yeah, don't worry. I wasn't going to let you finish without giving me the answer.
We're professionals, guys. I even have my notes to answer it about 30 minutes ago. Just realized whatever answered. So, Tyler, how many liters of urine does the average person produce per day?
My answer was less than 2 liters.
Less than 2 liters. You're very close. In general, the average person makes about 3 liters of urine per day, which is just over 12 cups. And a normal, healthy bladder can generally hold 300 to 400 milliliters of urine, which is just under 2 cups. Okay. So at any given time, your bladder can hold just under 2 cups, and the average person makes 2 cups. Well, 300 to 400 milliliters. The average holds.
Got it.
before you have to go pee.
See, like
but the average person makes
I'm going
3
quarts
liters.
and pints and ounces, and you're going liters, milliliters, man. I can't translate.
Well,
that.
we're dumb Americans. We got the metric system, or do they?
No, we're
not on the
metric.
metrics. We're the anti-metric.
I know. My daughter's learning the metric right now, and I'm like,
did you tell her what's the point?
Trust. No, it's way easier.
That's what everybody says.
Everything's intense.
That's what everybody says.
It's way easier.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. But we're stubborn.
Yeah, because we decided that 33.8 fluid ounces equals
sense.
1 liter.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully you have some takeaways here. If you did like today's episode, if you like any of our episodes and you get something out of it, please share this podcast. That's the best thing you can do. That's the biggest help you can do for us is sharing it. Something comes up in conversation, people are asking, hey, what are you guys listening to? Talk about the One Shot Podcast. Text it to some friends. Post it on your Instagram, your Twitter, your TikTok, your whatever. Put it everywhere. Help us grow the show. That's the best way. I actually heard from a business guy this morning. He was talking about, ads and all these things, they're great, but really business is sold, business grows on word of mouth. That's how it's always been. That's how it's always going to be. Yep. And so word of mouth is really the best way. We can advertise this all we want, but really the best way is for you guys to help us share it. So we appreciate you. Hopefully you got something out of this today. We'll see you tomorrow. We're going to wrap up our wisdom series tomorrow, which Lord knows we need a lot more wisdom right now. So we will catch you guys tomorrow. Hope you have a great rest of the day.